You know what it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
You know who it is, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Odie, Maury, Sody, Maury,
Maury, Sody, Maury, Sody.
black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy.
Hey, oh,
Yes, Mo?
are you ready?
Let's go!
Black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy, black and snurdy. It's the Black and Snurdy podcast with Odie and Maurice.
Ease. Yes, we are back with another episode of the Black and Sturdy podcast. I, of course, am Maurice.
I'm Odie.
And together we are just a couple of snurds bringing you news, bringing you entertainment, bringing you
All the
comedy.
things.
Wow, right into the mic.
Oops.
Yeah.
You're always telling me to speak up.
Yeah, no, but like you burped.
I did not burp.
There was some gurgling noises.
That
or
was
something.
not a burp.
That was something.
It was not a burp.
That was something, and I heard it.
I
through my
did not.
headphones.
Well, I'm sorry. It wasn't a
It
burp.
was like,
Maybe I growled, but I didn't burp.
I don't know what it was, but it was definitely noticeable.
Anyway,
Listeners to the podcast, please point out if that
it
was
was
a burp,
not a burp.
or if that. Tell me if I'm crazy. You
are.
Well, first off, I am not crazy. I know what I heard, and but it's all good because we're back with episode 63 of the Black and Sturdy podcast.
6-3.
Of course, we have come together here, recording slightly early because
I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Just kidding. I'll be back on the next week.
Yes, we'll reconvene in a week, and I wish you a much successful flight to London.
Thank you.
Town.
I'm going across the pond for a cuppa and to see my family and to celebrate my great and lovely Aunt Meg. Mm-hmm. To celebrate her life because it was a beautiful one.
Yes.
And she was joyous and amazing. And I just hope that I can live as her namesake and give her honor and glory.
Yes.
So now into our regularly scheduled programming, one of my most enjoyable parts of the podcast, questions.
Folks, where's the lie?
What happened to my Wi-Fi? It's on. What's going on? All right. So we're gonna take some questions. Well, we have questions to ask. Okay, close your eyes and pick a card, any card.
Yes. Give me one moment. Let me just make sure that everything is going
Silent?
No, not silent.
Why don't you have another video up?
No, that's not a thing.
No?
It has nothing to do with the
It
thing.
could have been.
Here we go. See? There we go. All right. And here.
I had to shake them up because you saw them.
You're not shaking them. You're just rubbing them together. It sounds like you're rubbing them together.
Pick one out of one hand.
Okay, probably the thing I was gonna. It's blue, isn't it? It's probably the thing I was gonna grab for anyway because all you did was like.
I shook it up.
52
I shook it up.
Anyhow, what's your favorite ride on Disneyland?
At Disneyland?
At Disneyland. Which one
I've not been to Disneyland, but Disneyland is in California, Disney World's in Florida.
I've never been to Disneyland.
I've never been to Disneyland, but I could tell you. Okay,
I love those teacup rides at Disney World.
Those teacup rides are fun.
Yeah.
I would say, oh man, I think that the one that it was a long time ago, so they don't even have it anymore. But when I went, it was like when I went as a kid, it was one of my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Was the Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Oh, I changed my answer. I do remember Honey I Shrunk
That was
the
really
Kids.
fun because I remember it was like it was like 40 and
Those
it was moving us.
ants were terrifying.
Those
Those ants were terrifying. Sorry,
The ants were
I've
terrifying.
been talking in the mic.
And also when they like said the hamsters were coming and they like were puffing out air. I hate stampede, like any any masses, like masses of ants or any other animal, it's too much. It gives me like, what is the word? Trypophobia.
Anxiety?
It's like, it looks gross to me. It swarms. Anything that's swarming, I don't like it. Even if you zoom out of pictures of people and they're all moving around, it looks like bugs.
You know what just dawned on me? Because I don't think that ride is there anymore. Like, when was the last time anybody has watched, let alone talked about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
Hey, Rick Moranis.
But for a second, I thought he was here. In the Instagram Live, which we do for those who listen to the podcast. Check us out on our Instagram to see when we're recording live. They could have repurposed that ride for like Lion King.
Oh yeah, that could have worked.
For the stampede scene.
They could. I'm sure that. I think now it might be the Star Wars.
Oh yeah. That
my friend was just in Disneyland in California, and they have a big Star Wars ride, so they might have brought
Anaheim.
one. Yes, and they might have brought one to Disney World. We went to Disney World for my mom's. I think it was like her 46th. I was in 5th grade. Maybe her 46th birthday, 45th, 46th.
I don't like how far away all the amusement parks are. There should
we
be
have
a
Six
train.
Flags.
Yeah, but there should be a train that goes there.
We should have high-speed trains at this point, but we don't because our infrastructure fucking sucks.
Yeah, come on now. Like,
greatest country in the world, you can't even get from one end of the country to the other end without spending $1 million.
I'm this close to being a fucking expat and going straight to Japan.
I would gladly expat. Even like I know when I go to the UK, even though this tube has no air conditioning, you're just sweating a bunch, svetzing all over the place. It still has a better infrastructure. Like, I could go from London to Paris for like $50.
Yeah.
And not even euros, for $50. You could get an early train, or you can get like a bus or something like that. There's so many ways to travel to other countries from that one country.
It shouldn't cost a couple $100s for me to catch the fucking MARC train to get to DC of all places.
It costs more for me from New York to sometimes Atlanta than it can for me to go from New York to London.
How are you getting to Atlanta? The train? Or
No,
the
on a
plane?
flight.
Okay,
but even now, Amtrak used to be a deal, but now Amtrak is sometimes even more expensive than the flight.
I noticed that I think it has something to do with the pandemic, that people weren't able to fly, and so they bombarded the trains, and then the trains were like, oh, we're back in business.
I mean, I feel like in college, because my best friend lives in Atlanta, and so I would come to visit her a lot, and sometimes I would try to see if maybe I would catch a few dollars getting the train. But sometimes going from DC to Atlanta, just from the train, it was still like $400 or $500, close to the same amount, or if not more sometimes, than a flight. So we need to get our shit together.
And how many hours is it?
It's like 10 hours.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
not
a
even
long
like
ass time. That's a
really long time.
Higher amount of money for a longer length of time.
It's the same amount of time it takes you to drive.
I will say this: at the very least, for the train, like, it is actually, it's the same thing with the train versus the bus, because like the bus is cheaper, but it's the same amount of time as it would take a train.
And it's less comfortable.
Yeah, and
because they don't have
less comfortable, little fat kids sleeping on you. Yeah, that happened to me. Like just little fucking. I don't want to body shame.
Yeah, well, you already did. You already called him a little fat.
Oh
kid.
well, then well, no, it's just what am I supposed to say? Obese, like
rotund? I don't know, a chubby one.
Yeah,
you made it sound like fat was such a negative descriptor.
Well, he was slobbering all over me, and so that's the negative descriptor I have for this.
A slovenly slobbing.
Slovenly slobbing.
Next.
Actually, that might be the title of this. I don't have my notepad.
You can use this one.
Is there a pen?
I don't think there's a pen on there.
No, there's no pen.
Well,
completely unorganized.
Put a note to yourself in your notes app.
Oh my god.
All right, next question.
Slovenly slobbing.
What resources? Oh, this is a kind of related question. What resources do you trust most when you plan a trip?
I feel like we've had this question before.
Maybe.
Yeah, we definitely have, because I feel like you were like you check out the reviews of shit.
Well, when I do it, like my first thing to do is, here are my travel hacks. Mm-hmm. Set yourself on incognito mode. Then go to Kayak, and you'll be able to see what like you'll see the different cheaper prices. The only thing about Kayak is it's going to show you like the cheapest. So like it might say, okay, New York to London, it's like $450. But when you go to the website, it's gonna probably be that $450, but it's like the most basic level. So you're generally like, I'm going to end up like, I don't want to fly JetBlue basic.
Wait a minute, say it again. Put yourself on airplane mode, and then
No, not airplane, incognito mode.
Oh, incognito mode.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then like I don't want to fly JetBlue basic because you don't get a carry on or anything. So I know I'm gonna end up spending another $100 to get like I'm not gonna do like, you know, the fanciest one, but I just want the whatever levels above basic so that I can get my carry on. I can pick my seat.
Yeah.
And like go from there. But I like to go looking at the different sites. Also, another hack is if if I was going on Delta to buy my ticket, I would go from like if I was going to London, I would say that I'm in the UK. And then do the flight because sometimes it'll give you like maybe even $30 to $40 off the ticket.
Yes.
And then even with the conversion of the currency, and then you usually if you check about 3 or 4 flight places, it'll be good. And then if you buy on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday, it's generally better. And then I will check on like Trip Planner, on like Yelp, the different Google reviews, and then that way, like, and then also people, like if you go on Instagram, there's generally a lot of people who have gone to the place, and you can search the hashtags. People will show you what the food they were eating, which is like when I go to travel, my main thing is I want to eat well. I want all the food that I taste. I want it to be delicious.
White tangerine.
Hello. So when I'm looking for places, I want to know where the food is.
Tell me why.
That actually was delicious. And then go from there. What about you?
I don't go nowhere. I stay in the house, so I don't have any fucking tips to give. But as far as resources, I feel like we're not sponsored by them, but Travelocity, and that's mainly because I still have like a $400 credit there, because they fucking would not refund me when COVID hit. All those years ago, I was supposed to go to Phoenix to go to a comedy festival, be in a comedy festival.
Still, that's so long ago.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, I think the travel credit is going to be up soon, so I need to book my ticket to Jamaica.
Somewhere.
No, it's going to be for Jamaica.
Well,
Going to Jamaica in May. If I buy the tickets, then I have to. That means I'm committing.
No, well, the only thing about Travelocity and Expedia and Priceline is that if something happens, it's very difficult for you to get your money back.
Yeah.
Or like if you need to change something, you can't just like call the airline and say, hey, I've had this issue. You got to go all around. And like that always is just like a hindrance.
Yeah, it's a headache. It's a headache. But like I was trying to be savvy and do it through fucking Acorns.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, you got your credits a little bit. You got a little bit of change of probably 50 cents on there.
Folks, where's the lie?
So that's all I got for the questions. Are you ready to jump into our pop section corner?
Yes, this is our pop culture segment.
Pop.
Folks, where's the lie?
Okay, so we have some updates. We're going to start off with the shitty ones, and then they'll get progressively better.
Yes.
So last week, I think it was last week, we talked about Andrew Tate.
Yes.
If you don't know who Andrew Tate is, he is one of those manosphere, red pill, misogynists on fleek. And he...
On fleek. We are old.
He got arrested in Romania, and it was people were saying at first it was because of he tweeted Greta Thunberg, but the authorities said that they did not catch him because of that tweet. It was for other things. I feel like they're lying, but who knows? He tweeted out responding to trying to be a troll to Greta. The next thing you know, he and his brother were arrested in Romania for sex trafficking. And now, just a day or two ago, some audio messages that he left on one of the alleged victims he says he loves raping, that he's the most dangerous man on the planet, and sometimes you forget how lucky you were to get fucked by me. And he said, am I a bad person? Because the more you didn't like it, the more I enjoyed it. I fucking loved how much you hated it. It turned me on. Why am I like that? Why? Also, sorry trigger warning, content warning, spoilers.
We
whatever.
probably, yeah.
We could have put that in head. I completely forgot. But I mentioned Andrew Tate, so that should have been
that should have been enough of a trigger warning for you. But anyhow, or Andrew Tate, as I've been calling him.
Andrew Tate.
Yeah. Taint that funny.
That's a good one.
Yeah, Andrew
Taint that funny.
Oh, taint that. Oh, okay, taint that.
That's could be okay. Anyway, so my first question is, why are these criminals so dumb? If I ever were to do a crime, regardless of what it is, I'm not sending the victim of that crime or anybody a voice note detailing my participation in the crime. And I don't know why people think you sending a voice note is somehow going to magically disappear. It's not. Like, it stays there. People can find it. It could be on your server or in the back end or something.
You can save it. You could save voice
You can save
memos.
them, and people can share them. So I'm very confused. Like, you're so dumb and so arrogant and narcissistic that you think that these voice notes that you're sending someone, they're not going to be able to use if they eventually decide to press charges against you. I just hope that he gets every single bit of justice, and I'm sure if Romania is like any other...
Well, not him getting justice.
I want her to get justice.
To get justice.
I want him to get served justice. Piping hot.
Yes. A nice throbbing mound of justice coming your way, Andrew Tate.
Well, I think that Romania is, if it's like a lot of those other countries in that region, prison there is not going to be nice or fun or enjoyable, and you probably will have to stay. And they're on they have like multiple columns, both him and his brother, because it's not just rape; it's also sexual trafficking or people trafficking, sexual abuse, etc. So just throw the book at him.
Throw the book at him. Side note: this has nothing to do with the podcast or this particular story. Why is that upside down? That would probably make it a lot easier to put it if the hooks weren't down.
That is true. I don't know why it's like that. I just noticed that.
Yeah.
Our little board is upside down. But
yeah.
Hey, you know what? You continue through.
Yeah, you power through with the resources that you have. Speaking of resources.
And sexual abusers.
Yes.
Content warning. Vince McMahon is back with a vengeance.
Oh, WWE. Then, now, and forever. It's me, Vince McMahon. I'm back, and I'm here to ruin every bit of creative fun that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon was having. Well, first off, Stephanie McMahon resigned. Yes. And as Stephanie McMahon resigned, Vince McMahon came back to be named executive chairman of the board. And now he is looking to sell WWE.
This is just a reminder that white men rarely, if ever, fall down, or they always fail up.
Yeah, they fail up or fall sideways.
Because I'm sure that, like, if you leave a job and you come back, you generally end up making more money.
Yeah.
And then if he sells to the Saudis, he's gonna make a shit ton of money. And not to say like if his daughter had been the executive, that she would not have had money and then it would have been to the family, whatever. Mm-hmm. But, like, this is going to be to him, to his bank account, his investments. And it's even with all of the, not just the sexual assaults, but the corruption that was a part of it and all of the negativity, people were still allowing him back in the room. And I just cannot imagine anyone, any woman, any black person, any black woman being able to have this amount of scrutiny, like public scrutiny, that is also like well documented and all this stuff, being able to come back and be better than they were when they left.
To be fair, they didn't allow him back. He forced much to his character. He forced his way back in.
Well, how did he force his way back in?
Well, because when he initially quote unquote retired, he kept voting rights on the chair. So he owned like 35% of voting rights. So
he just had to get like half those people on his side.
Basically, and
money talks.
And essentially like he set it up so that no sale could go be done without his approval.
Oh, well, fuck you, Vince McMahon.
So then he decided to come back with 2 other members of the board that he had previously fired. Mm-hmm. Their names escape me right now. I do not have this article up. But he came back with them in tow, 2 cronies, in order to, quote-unquote, sell WWE.
Well, you know...
Now, he doesn't have any creative...
I think their name was George Barrios and Michelle Wilson.
Yes, those are the 2 names. Yeah, those are the 2 that they were initially...
They were moved in February 2020.
Yeah.
Unceremoniously.
Yes, he initially fired them back in 2020 because they wanted to take a different creative direction for the WWE network that he was not a fan of, so he fired them. But then he got him on his side and brought him back. So there you go. I mean,
people, they're going to do what they want. This is just like, life is just like The Circle. Everything
is just like The Circle.
Going to just do what they want.
Could you hand me the vodka?
Yes.
People are going to do what they want.
Tito's, please.
Sponsor us.
But you know what? Fuck him. He's ridiculous. He's not. Winners do not prosper. You may think they prosper in the short term, but in the long run, we see what happened to, what's his name? Ron Jeremy.
Yes.
And he's not he might be off those charges. He might not have to go to jail, but he surely ain't prospering.
No, he is not. He's fucking, but, so yeah, just a big, like, exacerbated fuck you to Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Oh, Kennedy too?
Yes, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Oh, God.
That's his name. That's how he talks.
It's terrible.
I'm Vince McMahon. Remember my WWE album Forcible Entry? Yes, that is a real WWE album title.
Great. That's disgusting. Well, speaking of other fuckboys, Kanye West is back in the news today.
And not the good kind.
Do you want to know why? I mean, well, I guess it's good for somebody.
Oh my God.
He has married. I guess congratulations are in order because he has married Yeezy designer Bianca Sensori, who just looks like a thinner faced Kardashian. She looks like a Kardashian. Like she's a Kardashian type.
She has a bit of, well, I don't know what the bottom half looks like on this photo.
She has large breast implants. She does have a very thin nose from probably her rhinoplasty that she had at 14.
She's white. And I mean that's these are the only people who. Oh, okay.
No,
yeah.
she doesn't have anything going on with her besides being a white woman with large breasts. I'm sure he'll create 10 other children with her, and then harass her until she.
And I want to say thank you to black women for not putting up with Kanye West to the point where y'all are getting married. Thank you. Amber Rose walked so that the rest of y'all could run away.
I mean,
run away from me, baby. There we go. Y'all took his advice in that song
run
to
away.
heart, and y'all all ran away and leaving these white women just out here to, take up all that suffering.
The only thing about this that's going to be annoying is now we're going to have to see this woman at every fashion show. Because even though they try to say, oh, he's anti-Semitic, we're not going to... No, you guys are... Kanye is one of those few... Because he's so wealthy and he still has so much,
he's wealthy.
like,
I don't
star
know if he's
power.
so wealthy anymore. Because remember, he went from like $1 billion to like $400 million.
I would happily do that. That's real wealthy to me.
Do that?
I would be happy to have $1 billion.
I would be happy to have had $1 billion,
and now I just have 400 million.
Have 400 million. Did you ever see that HBO show about the tech startup company Pied Piper? What was it called? Silicon Valley.
Oh, the comedy with the guy with
Kumail Nanjiani and yeah.
I think I saw like 1 or 2 episodes. I didn't like watch it consistently. I remember thinking it was like, oh, this is like funny or whatever, but I didn't really watch it.
There's a character who's like a tech douchebag who's just like one of his main things was just like trying to get back into the B company, which is the billionaire company. And he was just like, he's like, I lost my B. I lost my B card.
I mean,
I'm only $999 million. I need to get that B.
Well, Kanye got his B, and now I'm sure they're going to...
And that B stands for bride.
Bianca.
Oh, okay.
That too.
Yeah,
I'm curious if they're going to be...
I was going to say the curse word.
Well, hey, think what y'all
want. But
want.
I don't know her that well, so that's why
I'm sure
I didn't
she's
say
a lovely woman. Who knows? All we know about her is she's a
could be
Yeezy
horrible.
designer.
She could be lovely.
We don't know anything about
no
her.
idea. I've never heard of her. I mean, she's a Yeezy designer, so she must be terrible because those Yeezys look ugly
hideous.
as shit. They don't even look like socks. They all look like... Remember that one that looked like a dinosaur jagged teeth?
They all are terrible, and they're all $400. And people keep saying, "Oh, they're so comfy."
Gigantic slides.
There's nothing comfortable enough for me to spend $400 on ugly shoes.
See, that's why I never became a sneakerhead, because of just how much money is invested into wearing something like for one time.
At least if I'm buying a pair,
into like a fucking humidifier, crystallized like
buying a
chamber
pair
to
of
keep them fresh.
Nikes or something. Like if someone showed me a pair of really nice Air Maxes, I would be like, you know what? Do I want to spend the $300 on them? But at least they would be nice. Like I would never spend money on that Louis Vuitton patchwork bag, the one that's in Sex and the City, because it's hideous. And what's her name? Jennifer Hudson was so happy that Carrie gave her this ugly ass bag in Sex and the City, and that's how I'm like, I know y'all don't have black writers on staff, because maybe she would take it for the resale value, but she wouldn't have cared for the actual bag. It's hideous.
Are you excited about the new season?
And Just Like That?
And I was just about to say, and there it goes.
I mean, that too.
Like, or whatever the show is
am
called.
excited to hate watch it again.
Yeah, it's a terrible show.
I'm excited to. It's like a nostalgic enough that they have
added
some
two
components.
brown women in there who
are the side characters,
slightly more interesting than the main characters.
And they tried to replace what's his name?
Steve.
No, well, not Steve.
They replaced Steve with
Che.
Che.
No. Jesus.
Nothing against
Carrie's best friend.
Oh yeah.
Stanley.
Stan. Oh well, he died.
And Samantha, but that's what I mean. They're trying to replace him in the group, and it's just making it. It's not. It's not cohesive enough, but it's enough where like the fashion's still really good. Mm-hmm. They're going to cool places. I may be like, oh, maybe I would want to try there. That's how, Magnolia's, the really good bread pudding place.
No,
you not tasted the bread pudding?
I've never tasted. I'm gonna get you the bread pudding from
banana pudding. Sorry.
Oh, banana pudding.
Yeah, the one you like. Have you had banana pudding from Magnolia's?
No.
I'm gonna get you some bread pudding from Magnolia's. It's so good.
Back when we used to go into the office, we could ask for like whatever type of cake or dessert we wanted, and I asked for a banana pudding, a banana cream pie, banana cream pie. Mm-hmm. God, I love me bananas and banana pudding and banana cream pies. Like, they're the sweetest, richest dessert there is. And I am a
You're
man.
not a desserty person.
I'm not a desserty person. And I'm a man who, if I am going to taste any sort of fruit, I want it to be like the berries. I stay away from like those citrus oranges bullshit or whatever like that. If I'm going to soccer practice, I don't want a fucking orange slice, all right? I want a fucking raspberry, all right? Give me a berry. Give me a good berry. In Pop-Tart form, sorry s'mores, sorry brown cinnamon. My grandmother used to buy me brown cinnamon.
My mom used to buy us brown cinnamon all the time. Those boxes.
Those boxes. I would refuse to eat them just to teach her a lesson. Like, I would eat up everything else except for those fucking. She's like, why don't you eat this? I'm like, I hate that flavor. A lot of people swear by it, but
The thing is, it's not terrible, but compared to strawberry which was always like back then to me
And
was
strawberry
like
is the basic bitch of all
And
the
it
Pop
is,
Tart
but
flavors,
it's
but
like-
it's better than brown
it's
sugar.
delicious. The brown sugar one was just like this plain. Who the fuck wants to eat brown sugar?
Oh, and then one day my grandmother said, "I got Pop Tarts for you, baby," and then I ran into the kitchen and saw that it was apple cinnamon.
That's my mom used to also buy apple cinnamon and brown sugar.
I wanted to throw that shit
She
on the
said
ground
because
so
that
quickly.
had the least amount of dyes,
And well,
which is, I mean, true.
I hope that this flavor dies.
But still, like, nobody wants to eat that. You want to have the sweet strawberry one. I don't really like s'mores Pop-Tarts, but I will take a s'mores Pop-Tart over apple cinnamon one.
More
any day.
s'mores, more s'mores, more s'mores.
All right, so speaking of bananas, this shit is bananas, B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
I can admit that for a long time I had problems spelling that word until that
Same.
song.
Well, not the word,
That
but the song.
restaurant.
I still misspell restaurant. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Restaurant in February are the worst.
It's the
to
A
spell.
that throws me off in that word. Where is it supposed?
Restaurant.
Rest. Yeah,
Like rest, but you have to think the or is not O, it's an A.
yeah, and it's always frustrating.
It is. It's a stupid.
Communications major doesn't mean I know how to spell. I just know how to say things.
Gwen Stefani, the maker of that hit song from our middle high school days, who is a very white woman,
Yes, yes.
has made this statement in regards to some questions about her loving the Harajuku culture and the controversy, but not just Harajuku, because she's always been like a culture vulture. It was Harajuku girls, it was Chicanas, it was everybody besides Italian Americans.
Eve. She tried to bite off Eve style.
Like, she is Italian American, and yet she was leaving not Sofia Vergara. What's her name? What's the name of that Italian? Sophia Loren. Right there for you, but she just bypassed her to go to the Harajuku girls and the Chicanas.
So let us blow your mind with this story.
So she goes, that was my Japanese influence and was a culture that was so rich with tradition, yet so futuristic with so much attention to art and detail and discipline, and it was fascinating to me. This is after she lived in, I think she said she lived in Japan for 18. She traveled to and from Japan with her father for 18 years because he worked for Yamaha motorcycles.
Yamaha.
And so,
My soundboard is a Yamaha.
oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, they make
Lots of stuff.
Yeah, they do.
And she said that when she finally got to get to Japan herself, that she said, I said, my God, I'm Japanese and I didn't know it. I am, you know. And then she just went along there. And then when they kind of pushed back at her in the interview, she said, if people are going to criticize me for being a fan of something beautiful and sharing that, then I just think that doesn't feel right. I think it was a beautiful time of creativity, a time of the ping pong match between Harajuku culture and American culture. It should be okay to be inspired by others' cultures, because if we're not allowed, then that's dividing people, right?
There's nothing wrong with being inspired by cultures, like the various melting pots that are created when different cultures come together and share recipes and styles and stuff like that, and new styles are born out of it. I mean, we wouldn't get The Matrix without Ghost in the Shell. And two more examples that I'm not going to go through right now. Rule of threes, just to pretend that I did. But we wouldn't have gotten stronger music video without Akia, which is
I thought it was Akira.
I was trying to say it.
Oh, is that how you're...
And it's supposed to be
Oh, I
said.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just how they say Barcelona instead of Barcelona.
Yes.
Which is always annoying.
Yes.
To me.
It is.
But anyhow, but just because you love something, something could be a hobby, something could be just something that you enjoy, but it doesn't mean that you're a part of that culture. It doesn't mean that you get to claim that culture.
Wait.
I enjoy all types of media and art. Doesn't mean that I can claim to be a star of that art. I was going to say the type of art that I was going to say, but I didn't. I bit my tongue.
I'm glad you did not.
Shout out to Wesley Pops.
There is a difference between appropriation and appreciation.
Appreciation, yes.
Yes, there we can understand that there's a difference. Like if you want to wear a sari or a traditional Ankara outfit and you're going to members of that specific community and getting it made, if you go to an indigenous person and having them make some beadwork for you, that's you're appreciating the culture, you're spending money in the culture, and you're like paying it forward, whatever.
Yeah.
But the difference is when you are making yourself up to look like you're some... In the videos, she would have herself looking like she's from Chicana, from California, from the Bay.
Yeah.
With the dark makeup and the cholo vibes. And then on another side, making videos where she's wearing looking like a geisha. And then you only have these Japanese women in the background being designed like your little prop pieces to dance around you. Were they also directing and producing and writing and something more significant behind the scenes? How were you helping in the culture? Were you bringing forward art directors from there? Like I feel like this is a lazy answer that white people like to say to keep themselves from getting in trouble.
Just own up to
for
the fact
appropriating and being
that
culture
you appropriated the culture. Just own up to
because
it.
it is like I think the thing about
not a man. Be a fan. There we go. Be a fan of this great culture that you're inspired. Be a fan of all the things that they create for you. Be a fan. With all the coolness and greatest vibes, mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
I'm glad you got there.
Yeah.
Finished it out. But I think that there's just Orientalism and anti-blackness happen a lot. Plus any other anti-people of color from around the world happens all the time. But people will like to use our culture to bolster themselves, to make themselves seem cool and hip. Because she's not saying, oh, I learned about Japanese culture and history. I thought it was beautiful and I wanted to learn more about it. And yeah, it was. She's just saying it was so cool. Like, that's the thing when white people try to talk about our cultures. Like, oh, it was so cool and different, and they had spices. And that's why I decided I wanted to be a part of it.
We didn't allow Iggy Azalea to do it or get away with it, and we're not going to allow you to get away with it, Gwen.
I think that people can say, like, during the 90s and the early 2000s, the early aughts, there was a lot of, like, there's always been cultural appropriation, but like I remember there used to, the big thing was the like geisha dresses and the shirts with the like Chinese carry out containers and the chopsticks and all that. Like that was very much a look. You could throw in any other culture that has always happened, and I think in the 90s and 2000s that's not something that you would even have known. And you could say, you know what, at that time I wasn't aware that what I was doing was problematic. But now that people are bringing it up to me and saying, yeah, this was offensive, but what could we do? Like, remember when we watched the Abercrombie documentary and they were talking about one of the Asian men who, I think he worked at Abercrombie in the 90s or early 2000s. He was talking about the shirts that had like these very anti-Asian, racist slogans on them, and it was kind of like seeing people wear it, and you're just like, that feels cringe, but you know, what am I gonna do? But now that people can say outright, this is offensive, I don't like this, and everyone has to listen to them because it's on social media, it'll gain a following, etc., like you need to take it seriously and not act like you're being attacked for someone trying to call you in and say, hey, maybe you should think about this thing you did. and realize that it was in some way harmful to someone else, because when somebody white or any other culture, somebody else is taking in a popularized, taking your culture, they're wearing it and they're getting all this praise. Meanwhile, when you're at school, people are making fun of you and squinting their eyes and trying to make these terrible jokes about you. You're not getting the same creative kudos as this white person on TV. And I think they need to be acknowledging that. And that is for any person. If you are someone who's popular, if you're taking someone else's culture and you're using it.
You're taking someone else's steez.
You're taking someone else's stilo. Just pay attention and be able to say, like, I got this from X. This is why I love it. This is why I've connected to it. And I know that there wouldn't be X, Y, Z without them. And just give them their props. People will appreciate that more.
Yeah.
And then listen to them when they say, you know what? That's a little bit cringeworthy and we don't like it.
Cite your sources. Cite your source of inspiration.
Cite your sources.
Yeah.
All right, so we're done with the bullshit. Are you ready to read some fun, happier, joyful things?
Yes, I am ready. I'm
All
always ready. I'm SpongeBob levels of ready.
I'm ready. Do you remember that, you know, that meme that's super popular? It's like a meme and a GIF that people use a lot, where it's the little black boy who's watching someone like get into a fight, and he's holding his cup and he's looking at the person. He's just like side-eyeing the situation and is looking back like, I don't know what y'all want me to do, but I'm getting out of here. It was from a video of, I guess somebody ate this other kid's Popeyes that he had left over. And when he found out, like, he had a complete just upset, annoyance, the frustration I would have if I came home ready to eat my crunchy, delicious Popeyes 2-piece and some mashed potatoes, and somebody ate it. He was upset.
Yes.
And so now it's been like almost 10 years or so, which is crazy because
we're old.
We are. It's like every time you hear about these things, you're like, wow, you're really old.
You're a fully grown human being.
But the kid from that video, it happened in 2013.
Yeah,
that was 10 years ago.
The one is like,
yes, him.
Does this for the audio listeners? I mimed it out.
His name is Dearnest Collin, blackest name ever, and he is now 18. And he is he's going to college to play football, and he has landed a sponsorship deal with Popeyes, which is great. And now he went from being that little baby boy we saw in the video to now being 6'1", weighing 330 pounds, and is an offensive lineman at New Jersey's Lake Erie College Division II football program.
It's all coming together.
I am very happy for him. You ever see that show on MTV? It was like I used to be a meme or something like that.
No.
Or I went viral. It's like a show where they have these different viral.
But of course, MTV has that show.
Yeah, it's like different viral stars. We'll talk about what made them viral, and some of them have cashed in on their viralness, and others are just like back to normal.
I love Tito's.
What?
You remember the kid who's dressed up in all like skeleton paint, and he was just like, I love Tito's.
Yes, I do remember him.
Yes. I was just pointing out a meme of a kid who was also on Tosh.0.
But he said initially he was he didn't like the memes, and it made him feel awkward. Yeah. But now he's cashing in, so I'm very happy and proud of him. I hope that he stays safe.
Get that money. Oh yeah, because of the football thing.
Yeah, I mean, football to me is it is a contact sport. It's very, brutal. Yeah. I honestly don't think before a certain age you should be allowed to play, because at least play full out, because as we saw on the field just 2 weeks ago when Damar Hamlin, who is thankfully doing better, and I believe he was released from the hospital, but him having that cardiac incident on the field, and so many other football players who have gotten CTE and all that. Hi, Matt. I am glad that this little boy is able to cash in on the work that he's putting his body through early, because he was a great little. He is a great little meme that I still use today.
Yes, he was.
So good for him.
Cheers to him.
And now I want to. You know what? I was trying to get the other day. I was coming back here, and I wanted to get us the ghost pepper wings.
Oh my
What's
God.
up?
Absolutely do not want no ghost pepper wings.
I was trying to get us. I was going to get myself the ghost pepper wings. And I was getting you a chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
But they were ran out of the ghost pepper wings at the Popeyes.
As they always do whenever they first release some
and
new
I was
new
just
thing.
so pissed off. Those ghost pepper wings, I want them to make a ghost pepper actual 2-piece size. Like, I don't want to just have those little tiny wings. It's not enough.
Well, yeah, it has to be small because the ghost pepper wings will fuck your mouth
They're
up.
not
if they're
spicy.
Actually...
They're not spicy. They have a little flavor on them, but they're not. You know, you can see it right there.
Yeah, now I do.
I love the ghost pepper wings. They're so you tripping. They're delicious.
No, they're not.
They're
Thank
delicious.
You. Thank you. Like
You dip them in the blackened ranch.
This is also why the concept of hot ones I would never want to get axed on them because like I don't want to be answering questions while my mouth is dying of heat exhaustion.
But the ghost pepper wings, they just call them ghost pepper wings, but it is. I'm telling you, it's not hot. They are they're like
you say so.
They're not even that much spicier than the spicy wing, and the spicy Popeyes is to me not even spicy.
If you say
It's
so,
just flavored.
if
Like,
you
it's a
say
little bit
so,
more flavor. It's delicious. Popeyes, you're on notice. You better have those wings.
yeah, your stomach is made of like iron or something like that.
I like them.
Yeah,
I've been drinking hot sauce since I was a little girl.
Yeah, and I'm sure the bathroom thanks you.
I never have those problems.
I don't know if you do or not.
I'm just saying I don't have those problems.
All I have to go on is your word, so.
I could eat I'm not going to eat like the spiciest curry, but I could do a little mid-hot.
Mid-hot.
I don't want spice that's going to burn my mouth. I want it to accentuate the flavor of the food, not like make me feel like my mouth is like literally on.
Them ghost pepper wings will give you diarrhea for a month.
They will not.
Yes, they will.
I'm going to bring some and you're not even going to know that they're ghost pepper.
Okay. No, I will know that they're ghost pepper because you're going to try to poison me. I've been ready. I've been eating poison. I've been eating poison in retaliation for when the day you,
you know
try
what?
to feed me poison.
At one point, you never know because sometimes.
Yes. All right. What else? What else do we have?
All right, we have some more good news.
Yes.
Our favorite tennis star outside of Serena and Venus Williams.
Our third favorite.
No, our favorite Gen Z, Gen X. I don't know which one she is. No, she's Gen Z, Gen Y. I don't know. Naomi Osaka is carrying a little corday. She announced on Wednesday, January 11th, a sonogram of
YBN baby.
Her and Corday's baby. They're both 25. They are both very excited.
20.
And she said in her statement, I know that I have so much to look forward to in the future. One thing I'm looking forward to is for my child to watch one of my matches and tell someone, that's my mom.
Aww.
2023 will be a year that will be full of lessons for me, and I hope I'll see you guys at the start of the next one because I'll be at Oz 2024. I am so happy for her. She's had such a great ride in tennis, but she's also had such, just struggles with her mental health and just being a celebrity in any way,
Did you watch her
form.
documentary?
I watched part of it.
Okay,
I
yeah.
didn't watch all of it.
I don't think I watched any of it.
I would watch it though. She's like
nothing against her.
She's a very
she's awesome.
Sweet. She's very lovable.
She's very she's very pretty, I would say.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah.
I feel like there's nothing about her that I could be like, oh, I don't like it. Like, she has been training hard her whole entire life.
And now she's got a little wrapper in her back, baby. Her belly. Why did it... I've been drinking.
You figured it out.
Yes.
You've been off since 2, so it's just been a lot of
I've been
free
sleeping.
time.
Look, I've been sleeping and playing Risk. That's all I've been doing.
Risk. I've won against the AI, and I'm very excited about that.
You beat me a couple times.
I did, but I feel like beating you is great because you're really good.
Mm-hmm.
But beating the AI is just a different level for me because that means you and I will talk about different strategies, but beating the AI, I feel very happy.
Well, wait till you get to the point where you're going up against them and their most difficult setting, aggressive.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm starting off slow and then moving up.
I got a whole fucking game going on right now, and I'm doing well with aggressive fucking players.
What's Civ 6?
Why are you stop talking?
I didn't. It's just this is.
Don't tell me. I know Civilization 6, right?
Is this a strategy game?
Yeah, it's a strategy game. It's Civilization 6, right, dude?
Is it multiplayer?
No, it is not. Well, I don't think it's multiplayer.
Oh. Is that the one
Civilization
where
6, yes.
you have land and you build a fortress?
You build an entire civilization. Like you start off with like nothing and you build it up like over it's like different it's a very involved PC game.
I think that I had that as a kid. I don't know if it was that or the one something Empires, like Create an Empire or Birth of the Empires. I don't remember, but I remember like having to build a village and putting like defenses around it.
Yeah, it's very much like that.
Well, I would like to play that. But I do like it when it's like a strategy game where there's two people or more can play at once.
Yeah.
And then that way, like
pretty soon I'm gonna be hosting a game night where we're just gonna sit here on my couch drinking and playing Risk.
I would love that.
Yeah, so
bring your controllers.
Well, no, we could just share the one.
There's two of them.
Yeah, you could just share.
Pass it around?
Just pass it around, yeah.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about? You don't need
Pass
to bring.
the controller to the left-hand side.
Don't ever
I'm doing it.
sing on this podcast.
I'm
ever.
going to do
Hold
it
on.
again. Multiple times.
You're so lucky that I don't have my drops ready.
Guys, take a shot. He said drops.
Yes.
I hope you've been taking account. All right. So that we're very happy about that. More good news. The Golden Globes were bigger and blacker than ever. Mm-hmm. They were hosted by Jared Carmichael. Gerard. What did I call him?
Jared.
Oh, Gerard Carmichael. And some key wins that we want to talk about. Eddie Murphy got the Cecil B. DeMille Award, which is amazing. He's been in show business for 46 years.
Since he was 18 doing stand-up.
That is...
Or 16, I would say.
Like, wow, that's ridiculous. It's
Yeah.
amazing. Good for him.
He's come a long way from
Brooklyn to the big top.
I was going to say from his Delirious stand-up. It was a Delirious or Raw where...
The red leather suit
Yeah.
outfit.
Yes.
I mean, I will say the both Delirious and what is the other one?
Raw.
And Raw, both funny.
One of them was purple, one of them was red.
Yes. He was very...
Raw is red, Delirious
Raw's
is purple,
red.
yeah.
Both of them are very funny, but when you watching them back,
one of them doesn't hold up that much.
I mean, neither of them hold up because, in the sense, both of them are funny.
Yes,
but both of them have problematic jokes.
Oh, for sure,
because they're both very of the time.
Goes off on
gay people,
like
on women, on black women, on black American women, on African women, on trans. Like everybody's getting it. Which is not, like, no one's surprised.
It was of the time.
Because it's of the time. I don't watch anything that you watch from another era. You could never be shocked and be like, oh my God, I hate that. It's like, you should already know what you're walking into.
It's just a moment of that time. Yeah. But you were saying about the Golden Globes.
Okay, so he won. Tyler James Williams. Everybody loves him. Everybody hates Chris. But people are loving him. He won for Best Supporting Actor in a television series for Abbott Elementary. Our auntie Angela Bassett won her second Golden Globe for Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Spoiler alert, if you still have not seen this.
It's coming out February 1st, so you'll be able to watch it all Black History Month.
But just spoiler. Okay, boom. Y'all didn't have to kill off fucking Angela Bassett. You didn't have to do it. I'm still pissed off. I don't believe she had to die for the movie to move forward. I just do not feel like it had to happen. She could have, if she was in a coma, teetering between life and death, she could have still found Shuri in the ancestor realm because she would have been teetering, so she could have still talked to her and talked her out of killing, what's his name? Namor. She still could have done that. She did not have to die, and nobody is going to convince me that she had to. It could have still been, I would be just as mad if my mom was on the brink of death than if she was dead.
It's not my biggest gripe with the movie, but
it's one of my main ones. Because now she's not going to be in the third one. Unless she's in a flashback. We're not going to get any more Angie in the film.
Maybe in the ancestral realm when
she
little
comes back,
when little T'Challa comes through and becomes, oh man, I can't wait for that little kid to become the new Black Panther.
He's a perfect mixture of Lupita and Chadwick.
Yeah, he is.
The dimples,
La Pierre.
He's so cute. Love him.
Oh boy. But yeah, what else?
Yes, I'm glad about Angela, and I'm still pissed off at her son for his terrible, terrible joke about Michael B. Jordan dying, and I'm glad that they whooped him or whatever they did.
Yeah, he got the belt.
And let's see. Oh, Quinta Brunson. She won for Abbott Elementary as well for Best Actress in a TV Comedy Series. So I thought it was a great night for Black people, for Black Hollywood, Black actors and actresses, and thems everywhere. And I look forward to us having more Black people and just representation. Michelle Yeoh won for Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is an amazing movie.
It's a great movie.
I can't wait to watch it again.
I love it.
I was like, you know what? I would want to do shrooms and watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, because I think that would be fun.
Yeah, I don't know, because the shrooms.
That's because you didn't have enough.
Oh yeah,
it was a small chocolate bar.
The motherfuckers just made
you
me
gotta
feel
eat them
warm.
Straight. It was warm, but because the next time I ate them by myself, and I had them just by that alone, and it was fun.
Sure, you say so.
But she won. It was just a good night for Hollywood. I think the most people that won, I felt were deserving. Now, okay, Best Motion Picture went to The Fabelmans. I have not seen it.
I've never heard of The Fabelmans.
I've heard of it. I think that's a story of one of the like key directors in Hollywood, like a Scorsese or someone. It's like on their level, but I haven't seen it. There's nobody in that category that I would have. Only one I had heard about was Avatar and Top Gun
and Elvis.
Oh, and Elvis too, but I wasn't gonna see Elvis.
I was never gonna go see.
I mean,
Elvis.
I might see Elvis maybe if I'm bored one day.
It was on
Netflix.
HBO Max and we never watched it.
Oh, well then I guess it's not gonna be seen. Yeah. The Way of the Water I would have saw, but outside of that, I wasn't really. Steven Spielberg, that's who it is. It's his family story. I did not see Tar, which Cate Blanchett was in, so I have no anything about that. And the other ones, it was just like, I feel like I didn't really see all the movies. Although we saw Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, and Daniel Craig was up for nomination for Best Performance, but he did not win on that one. But everybody else, the husband Ke Huy Quan from Everything Everywhere All at Once won.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were a lot of good ones. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio won over Turning Red. I would have picked Turning Red.
No, I feel like the love and work that went into that version of Pinocchio actually makes more sense than Turning Red. Turning Red was a good movie. I
would
liked
watch
it.
Turning Red more than I would watch Pinocchio.
Well, yeah, that's because it's grim. It's a grim movie in comparison to Turning Red. Turning Red is joyful.
It
in
is,
a way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
I
is.
mean, yeah, they talk about fucking ancestral torment. Not ancestral torment. What do you call
generational
that?
trauma.
Generational trauma. I get that mixed up. But yeah. So is that everything?
Yeah, for now, but we're gonna be right back. We
Mm-hmm.
gotta jump out because our hour's about to be up. So come back in like 2 minutes or less.
Yes, we'll be right back with more of the Black and Snurdy podcast.
You're listening to the Black and Snurdy podcast.
What is it? No
We
stash.
now return to the Black and
Get
Snurdy
some
podcast.
stock in Pitos.
Off the Florida Keys is a place called Kokomo. That's where you wanna go to get away from it all. Down in Coca, Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take you to Bermuda, Bahama. Come on, pretty mama. Key Largo, Montego. Baby, why don't we go to the Kokomo? We'll get there fast and then we'll take it slow. That's where we wanna go. Straight down to Kokomo. You know, there's a Muppet version of
Yes,
that.
it's one of my favorite
that
movies.
I've been playing all
I know.
day.
I've been hearing it.
Yes, and it's,
I love. First of all, can the Muppets come back and have a real resurgence?
Yeah.
because they
and not doing like the Office version of the Muppets.
just
Do,
go
like,
back to the
Muppet
original,
Show.
like doing your little like the
vignettes,
parody songs,
Yeah.
the vignettes. Like to me, that was such a key part of our childhood that, and I loved it. I loved every moment that we had puppets on TV.
Muppets.
There are puppets.
Muppets.
Fine. Muppets on TV because they just brought joy to our life, and I want them to be back out in the front.
I want them to be out there in the world getting a resurgence.
Yes.
They had a bit of a resurgence like a few years ago with the Muppet movie with not Jason Sudeikis, Jason Segel.
Yeah, it was Jason Segel. I
Yeah.
forget who else was it. What's his name? Dax Shepard's wife from what's her name? It just popped
Not
out of
Anna
my head.
Faris.
No.
She was in the good club.
The Good Place.
Yes. Not Anna Faris.
No.
Ellie something.
Elsa. Anna, no, not Anna Kendrick. Kristen
Bell. Kristen Bell, yes.
And I really like Kristen Bell. It's just I can always think of Dax Shepard's name first because it's easier.
From Veronica Mars.
I liked Veronica Mars. I would
never
rewatch
watched
it.
it.
I would rewatch it because I didn't get to finish it like when it came out when we were in high school.
You would like Veronica Mars.
I like, I like those
like,
mystery police procedurals.
It's procedural, but then there's like 2 minutes worth of like serialization.
Yep, I like it.
Just watching the
better than
Blacklist, and
Velma.
I'm just like, I'm tired of looking at James Spader's chin.
The Blacklist is so good. I can't help it. Shout out to Tamara for telling me about the Blacklist because I love it.
James Spader got that chin though.
He has just a claymation face.
Yes.
And that's what happens when you're old and not melanated.
Old and white.
Or have less melanin. Sometimes you become clay-faced, like a claymation.
Yes.
All right, now let's ask our mental health questions. Because every week, which button is it?
It's the gold.
Every week, we like to come in, speak to y'all, speak to each other about our mental health journey because we are mental health advocates, not experts. And we just want to check in with each other and see, like, how's it going, you know? So,
Where's the lie?
how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm actually doing really well. Obviously you're gonna be gone for a week, so that's gonna be a bit of a bummer. However, we have these little things called phones and
We use them
technology.
quite often.
So I'm sure I'll get some phone calls from you, and that'll be fine.
Fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. What?
Listeners, please
Oh my
rate it.
god!
I would like you to rate it. If somebody tells you that something's fine, I would like you.
Yes, it'll be great that you're gonna phone in as opposed to being around. I would prefer that you do that instead of just being here in person. You're absolutely right. Fine is not the right word. I should have said it'll be spectacular. It should be amazing, fantastic, absorbent. It'll be crucial. It should be mandatory. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say
not mandatory.
Yes, mandatory. From now on, just phone calls. We'll find a way to do phone calls instead of you being on this live.
You hate trying to use the audio Bluetooth on this contraption.
Yeah, I really, really do. I really, really do. Well, we can try testing it out.
We'll test it out.
We can try. We could try.
I would like to test it out, just on the off chance. What if I have to go to Nigeria for a month to take care of?
Why are you going to Nigeria for?
I don't know. What if my dad wants me to do some solar panel business?
Why is your dad recruiting you and not actual skilled employees with fucking engineers, like engineering
degrees? Social
degrees?
Media issue. Yeah,
get somebody else to do that. Why are they getting family members? Like, what is this, a fucking family business or some bullshit?
I'm a Nepo baby.
You're not a fucking baker. This isn't a bakery.
Baby.
You're a Nepo baby.
Yep.
No, you're a...
What are you going to say? What are you going to call me, a N-word baby?
No, ill. No, I mean, not ill, but...
You could have. Anything could have crossed your mind.
An N-word baby?
Yes.
No, that would be too harsh. That would be really fucked up. But no, so far my time is going very well. I do feel that my blue period is coming. Mm-hmm. I have my psychiatry appointment next Wednesday. So just in time. It'll be great to catch up with him to, just prepare myself for that. And but overall, there's nothing that has happened this week that I haven't been able to conquer and conquest. Well, especially playing this game of Risk.
I mean, I think that's great, and I hope that while I'm gone, that even though with the 5-hour time difference, that I can be.
It is for sure 5 hours?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I think it's sometimes it's 6.
Don't be trying to wake me up at
I'm gonna do
midnight.
I'm gonna call you.
Yeah, and then I won't answer.
I'm gonna
because
call you.
I'll
I'm
be
gonna
asleep.
Keep calling.
Yeah, I'll just be asleep all day.
I'm gonna call you at time appropriate times for you.
Yeah, for you. I mean, for me, for you, it'll be insomnia. It'll be like, oh, it's 3:00 in the morning, but it's okay because it's fucking 10 over here.
I can't help.
Hey,
when
do you
want to
watch a movie? And I'm just like, go to sleep.
I'm gonna call you to watch
go to sleep,
a movie. We're gonna
motherfucker.
stop watching the Naomi Osaka. Actually, so I feel like this. Remember how?
Didn't we have a mental health question actually?
Oh shit, we did. We didn't even ask it.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the funniest thing your inner child wants? I feel like we asked this before. Someone has mixed up my cards.
Are you putting the cards back?
I put them in the back.
thing?
Someone must have mixed them up because this was not here before. But whatever.
Okay.
What's the funniest thing your inner child
I've been
wants?
not putting them back. I've been putting them off to the side.
No, I put them in the back.
Okay.
So that they're not just sitting out because they got to go back in the thing.
Yeah, I've been sitting them out on purpose so that we don't mix them up
But I
anymore.
picked them from the front. I don't pick them from the back.
Okay, well.
So it won't. By the time it gets to the back, it should be like that's so long. We recycled through.
All right. I'm just saying. What's the question? What does my inner child want to do?
What's the funniest thing your inner child wants?
What's to say these nuts about everything?
And you do.
And I do. I am very close with my inner child.
Checking those boxes off.
Yeah. But no. Oh my God, my inner child wants candy. I want candy, bubblegum and taffy. Skip to the sweet shop with my sweetheart Sandy.
I want candy. What are you about to drop? God. Not again.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Is that it? You answered the
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, I answered the question. My inner child wants fucking candy and to sit around watching cartoons. I already sit around watching cartoons now, but
You do?
I don't do it with candy. I don't even do it with alcohol. I don't drink like during the week, so
Well,
and I don't like eat out of pocket. You know what I mean? Like outside of like normal hours or anything like that. So I just I wish for the halcyon days where I could just stay up late, and by late I mean for kids. That was like 8 or 9 o'clock. You just eating candy and watching Snick Saturday Night Nick.
Nick, Nickelodeon. I used to love when when Nickelodeon would change from like Brother Bear to Rugrats, because that's how you knew it was going from like preschool to like elementary school.
Little Bear, not Brother Bear.
What I call it, Brother Bear? Oh,
Yeah,
well,
Brother
that was still a
Bear.
good movie.
Brother Bear was the
And the dude from Bernie Mac, the son from Bernie Mac, was on there. That was like one of his.
I wonder
few
what
movies.
he's doing now.
Yeah, I
He's
haven't
probably
seen
a
him.
full-grown adult.
I want
who's
him to
grown
join
into
it.
his teeth.
He would be good in Abbott Elementary as
As a teacher.
as a teacher, or as what's his name, Tyler Williams' like cousin,
Yes, they could be related.
because they could be related. All right, my inner child wants
Grew into
a
his head too. 'Cause that head looked
my inner child wants a treehouse.
a treehouse.
Yes, because as a
You need
kid,
a tree.
I want a tree in a tree house. I want a tree house. It's just ask what I want. I want a tree house with power in there. Like, because as a kid, my sister and my cousin and I, COS, Christopher Odie I don't remember what.
Cause.
Yes, my dad. I don't remember what movie
Was
we
that
watched.
on purpose?
No, it was not. We just did COS because it made a
Did your
word.
dad name you based off of his name?
No. What? How?
COS.
That's Christopher Odie. We're not siblings. We're cousins.
Oh, okay.
Chris is my Auntie Debbie, my godmom.
Did he name you the O off of his name?
No, I'm named after my Auntie Megan.
Oh, okay.
Because her
gotcha.
name is, it's Megme Chioma. It's either Megme Chioma Odochi or Megme Odochi Chioma. But I know she like one of them was she meant by was Chioma.
Okay.
But that's what I'm named after. So we watched some movie as a kid. It's like I'm like 5 or 6 because we hadn't moved from Amityville yet or Copic, and we wanted a tree house built in my yard so bad. I remember we asked my mom, and her fiance at the time was like gonna try to do it for us, but it was like obviously building a treehouse takes a lot of man hours and
Yes,
a
it
lot
does.
of wood.
Yes,
and
it
if you
does.
watch Little Rascals, we weren't equipped to come up with any of those funds.
Did the Little Rascals make their own
It
clubhouse?
was the clubhouse. It wasn't a treehouse.
No, it wasn't a treehouse. It
But
was
they
just
came to the guy with like $10, and he gave them a little tiny piece of wood of lumber. But I remember they kept saying, "Oh yeah, sure, we'll make one for you." It never happened.
Yeah.
You're a liar.
This is why you don't make promises to children.
Because you'll remember them fucking forever. I will never tell a kid I'm gonna do something if I'm not gonna do it. Because you will remember.
Yeah.
And I never got my treehouse.
Not to mention to make a treehouse that also has electrical wiring.
We just wanted to get like at least an extension cord. Like we could have figured out how to power it from the house.
Extension
like
cord.
figure it out. I wanted like you ever see that movie Jack with
Yes.
Jack Nicholson? Super great movie. Super
You
sad.
mean with Robin Williams?
What did I say?
Jack Nicholson.
Did not mean
Oh
Jack
my
Nicholson
God, you
at
are
all.
Shirley Ralph from Abbott Elementary. Just saying names that aren't the right
At least
name.
they connected because of Jack, and then that's why I said Jack Nicholson. Anyway, Robin Williams, Jack. That treehouse that they had in that movie was like, wow, this is it. That's the key. So I would build a treehouse that had a reading nook. It had electricity. It had a little mini fridge for me to keep my beverages and some snacks. And then I would
a reading nook.
Yes.
How big is this tree? And how big is this treehouse?
It doesn't have to be huge. A reading nook is a nook. Like my favorite place to read when we moved to Wheatley Heights, my favorite place to read was our bay windows in the front of the house, because like you know how bay windows are like it's kind of like beveled out.
Yeah.
So there's little space for you to sit. And we moved there when I was 6. So I would just sit there. And I hated the moment my mom put like her candles and whatever little knickknacks up there. I was so annoyed because I couldn't sit there anymore and just read. So my perfect place or then I used to also, after that, I used to sit on the bottom of my closet. Mm-hmm. And I used to read there. That was that was like my favorite place.
Just imagine a little Odie just sitting in the dark, probably with a little light on.
No, I used to only do.
Not finishing these books.
First of all, I finished all of the books.
So when did that start then?
When I had to work, and my ADHD had to manage multiple responsibilities, so sometimes it's a little bit difficult. Okay. But I will. But first of all, I've been doing very well with Blood Scion. I've been reading that every day, a few pages.
I don't know about every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you that.
At least, and I'm reading several pages because I keep falling asleep. Like not because I'm reading it, but I'll read it towards the end of the day.
4 might be a stretch.
I'm laying down. I'm reading it. And it's very good. I suggest
I'll give you 3, but
buy it
4.
because I'm up to like page 60 by now, and that's by reading like a page or 2 every day.
Okay.
So I'm gonna finish it this week, and I'm gonna go when I go to London. I plan on either finishing that, and I still have 2 other books I need to read: The Spare and the sequel to The Gilded Ones.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm not gonna hold you to it, but you say so.
But speaking of my mental health, one, I would say my mental health this week has been pretty good. Although I missed my dentist appointment, which I was very annoyed about. And I had to postpone my psychiatrist appointment because fucking Fidelity has not sent me my HSA card and they're on some sort of back order. Like, how are you back ordered? This shit you were supposed to send me literally months and months ago, and you still haven't done it, and it's causing me to have delays in my medical treatment because I am not paying out of my pocket when I literally have money right there for the payment of my doctor's visits, which is why I take it out of my check every 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I have to reschedule those, but I'm looking forward to hopefully getting on medicine by February. And then just in general, I think that this week has been pretty okay. I was a little bit stressed at work because I have 2 projects I'm working on, and because I'm still new, like one of the projects is more just tedious, and the other project is more like me learning how to do something. But that's always, scary and stressful because everybody else is doing things at work. So when you need help, you can't always expect or request people to stop what they're doing to help you because it's like we are all really busy. So I'm always really appreciative of my coworkers who will stop what they're doing, help me out, give me like a few minutes of their time. And I think that I'm very grateful to have that so far. I hope that continues. And I hope that in general, my job, they're doing a lot of updates and changes to the systems. And I hope that at moving forward, things will be a lot more streamlined. Because apparently we're supposed to get something that's supposed to help us take things down off the site. So I'm hoping that happens soon. And that'll make my job easier. So yeah, outside of that, I am bracing myself. I don't know. That sounds like a stronger word. I'm preparing myself for the funeral, because right now I feel I'm excited to be able to see my family.
Yes.
To see all my cousins and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because we haven't been together in a really long time.
Despite the circumstances.
Despite the circumstances, I'm very, even though my family is, we are across several continents, we generally have since I was a little girl, I've never known a time when we're not coming together for things that are important. Mm-hmm. So that's something that I really appreciate, and that is definitely something that is very valuable to me, and I feel like I'm I've always wanted and loved the idea of having like a big, huge family. And even though in New York my family is smaller, I'm grateful that I have a large family to connect with. But I am worried about how, like, even though one fun fact or fun part about ADHD sometimes is that you can forget why you're supposed to be angry or sad or whatever, because there's just so many other things, and it's like out of sight, out of mind. And so I'm hoping that this funeral like is cathartic for everyone and healing for everyone. But I also know that I'm probably going to end up weeping my eyes out.
Yeah, of course.
Which admittedly crying is my least favorite activity because I just feel like it blocks off all of my other senses and like I can't speak correctly, I can't think correctly because I'm just like the emotion has just overrun my body.
Right.
But I am really looking forward to seeing how much everyone loved and appreciated my aunt because she was an amazing woman, and I'm looking forward to being up and to stand there for her and really say thank you for all the good times. And I think it's in general for me has been a reminder of how important it is to keep people that you love close to you, and to ensure the connections that you have with them, and to not to say not take life so seriously, but I would say the opposite of take life as serious as you can because it's important and it can go by quickly. And just knowing in the last few months, the people I know personally who have also lost other people, people that they were very close to in their life. Life is just very fragile. So it's a reminder that like the people you love and care about are people you should be spending your time with and bigging up and celebrating, et cetera, et cetera. And I hope that I can continue to do more of that this year, and deepen my relationships with people, because without our relationships, I mean, we're just out here alone.
Yeah.
But that's it, and that's all for me. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about for mental health?
No, I didn't.
All right,
so we can go ahead and move on to
gripes right
gripes
here.
Bringing it. What? We gripe it. We're not griping anywhere else. We gripe it. This safe space for us to share. We gripe it. We ain't griping anywhere else. We gripe it.
Yes, so why don't you, I started off with the mental health section. Why don't you start us off with your gripes this week?
Okay, shout out to DMX.
Yes,
And
as always, shout out
As
to the
always.
late and great DMX.
Let's see. What am I griping about this week?
Yes.
I would say my gripe is not about work. My gripe is just about learning new things because that's always stressful. It's like work related because I'm learning new things at work. So my gripe is just more so like I wish that I had my medicine. So my gripe is with the medical community that I don't have medicine right now.
The medical industrial complex.
Yes, because like trying to retain information when it's literally going in one ear and out the other and not by choice. It's not like you're not paying attention. It's just like you're like reading something while your brain has some freaking soundtrack from The Lion King or whatever going behind it. is not a great way to try to read something because you're not going to remember anything you read.
You're not going to retain the information that you're
just thinking about the fucking Lion King soundtrack.
Yes.
And that's frustrating. And I really just want to be able to read a document from top to bottom and not have to take breaks or reread the thing because I realized that I got to the end and I have no clue what the whole thing was talking about. That's a very, like, the frustrating parts of ADHD, like the forgetfulness, of course, is very frustrating because I hate not feeling like I'm remembering what I'm doing or like losing things and all that. But the audio processing and just the word processing part for me is very frustrating because I am a very interactive person. And having to take extra steps is frustrating to me because I'm also very impatient. And I just want to be able to, I wish that my brain would work in the way that I want it to work all the time and not just special cases. But yeah, I think that's the main thing. I don't know. I feel like everything else has been pretty, I would say pretty chill, pretty okay. People have just been annoying me in normal amount of ways. Did we already curse out the pizza? We cursed out the pizza place last week.
Yes, we cursed out the pizza place last week.
That was still on my mind because I was very annoyed because of that pizza place is usually really good. So I was stressed out that they didn't provide us with the good pizza. But yeah, that's about it. I think and then, you want to know what's pissing me off? In Risk, the stupid AI is always constantly being a hindrance to progress.
Yes, and not even in the way that you would hope. Like currently I'm playing a game of Risk with 2 supposedly aggressive AI. And now they are at a stalemate in Asia and in Europe, where if they were really aggressive, then one of them would go across the border to the other one's nation to try to break them up. But unfortunately, they're just fortifying their forces, and it falls on me to have to use my forces to break them up.
Because the thing is, I feel like when they do that, they end up going all this time and they don't get any kind of territory cards. So even if you do knock them out, you're getting like 2 or 3 territory cards versus like having 7 or 8.
Yeah, and they're trading early.
The trading early is so stupid. It's so stupid. Because why, when you're only going to get 7 extra cards, you're going to trade in? Wait till you have 30.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't even make any sense. It's no rhyme or reason.
Unless you're in a position where you have to trade in early, like you only have so many.
I have like 3 or 4 territories left. I'm running out of space. Everybody has like 5 numbers around me. I'll trade in and just get whatever I can get to see how long I can stay in the game. But otherwise, you can wait out. You know what also pisses me off? Mm-hmm. Why, when I got a 3, the other person has a 2, it never wants to work. But when AI wants to do it or somebody else on the round wants to do it, all of a sudden there's 2 to the 1s.
Or when like I have an overwhelming amount of 1s, like I have 10 troops, they have 1 troop, and their 1 troop wants to hold out the entire way and take all 10 of my troops.
There's no reason why
or
if
all
I
9
have
of my
10
troops,
or even sometimes 20 that you're 1 or 2 should be taking like half my troops.
Yeah, they take like so many.
It just
of them.
is not. It doesn't make any sense. It's rude.
It's fucked up.
I don't like it. Fix it, Risk. And you know what? Fuck Risk on iPhone because it's stupid.
Yeah, I laughed at you when I found out that you had Risk on your phone because I too downloaded it on my phone and I found that it was very stupid. So
I just wanted to get some more practice against the AI.
Yeah, and I wanted to do the same thing too.
It's the worst.
It's the worst version of the game.
Why would you keep it the way it is? Even the setup looks weird. I hate it. So I think
it's actually a more traditional setup. The Risk on the PS4 is like a more modern day setup. So
I
prefer the PS4 version.
I want to say that's probably it. I'm hoping that nothing will annoy me today at the airport because yesterday they had yesterday and the day before yesterday, there were some issues with the domestic takeoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Flights in the U.S. were grounded because of some technical issues they were having. So we'll see. But otherwise, I think I'm good. What about you?
For me, I'm not going to name names, but to a certain family member out there who has their gripe with me, it is time for you to relinquish your pride, come to me face to face, and squash some shit. That's just what it is. If you look within yourself and you look in your, I don't want to say look into your heart, but if you look within yourself, you'll realize that it is your pride that is keeping you and me from being at least on good terms.
I agree. And also, you didn't do anything.
I literally didn't do anything. I figuratively didn't do anything, and I didn't do anything to you. You
can't help what other people's choices.
What other machinations may have happened is out of my control.
Not machinations.
But no, in all seriousness though, like I think that the time has come, especially now that things could potentially be in motion. Potentially. I'm open to that idea. I'm not doing anything about it, but I am open to hearing it out. But first, nothing can happen until this gets squashed.
It's curious that people want to have issue with you, but then also want you to do things for them.
Yeah,
because then it's like
that
I
was.
think that's the part.
That
I know,
was mine.
I know. I mean,
thing.
that's the part where it's like you can't.
I have to get it.
You cannot ask me for things and also be rude and or disrespectful.
Yeah, you can't you can't ask me for help and then also hate me.
Yeah.
Like fuck
Especially
that.
for something
fuck that noise. You can't
didn't
hate
do.
me and then also need my help with some shit.
Yeah.
Like I not the power, but like I have resources to help you out.
You have the higher ground.
I have the higher ground.
Both morally and figuratively.
So I think it's time, and also I've been ready, bruh.
And also,
I'm
just
not
want
to
to
gender
say,
the person either, but
well,
yeah.
bruh is a gender neutral term.
Yeah.
And also, like I said,
Yeah, it could be BRA.
Family is important.
Yes, family is important.
And there's literally like, unless your family member murdered your child or like burned down your house on purpose,
unless something severe happened where like it was a crime.
Like there shouldn't, because at the end of the day, God forbid anything happens.
Mm-hmm.
Not even talking death, but just anything that's a stressful thing. You're going to feel terrible that you let something stupid and presumably and real in the scheme of things small cause friction. And now I still say I mean I'm saying that to you as well. I know that the onus is not on you.
Onus is not on
The
me.
onus is not on you. But just in general, like when we are a family and your family is very close, when you are a close family, you just need to use your communication, talk things through. I know that that's hard. That is something that I have been working heavy on in the last year or so with my therapist to be able to communicate when someone's causing me harm or I have an issue, because the not speaking up is what causes disconnection in relationships, and it's really at the end of the day not something that most of the times these things are not nearly as important. Does that change the...
No, it doesn't do anything. I don't know how to make that not happen.
It does not. It's just something that when you look back in 5 years, is this going to matter?
It's going to look stupid.
And
it's going to
also,
look frivolous and stupid. And
just think about who should you actually be upset about.
Should you be upset with me or
in
with
this
yourself?
Moment. Because just maybe we should always be thinking about Who should I be upset about?
Who is the person who caused this issue?
Because if it's you,
or was it you?
then you have to do some self-reflection. If it's not you, or if it's both, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it can be both and.
Yeah.
But who was the one that held the cards in their fingertips?
There we go. Yeah.
That's it.
But that's it for me. That's my only gripe.
All right, going to our favorite section of the show.
I'm the baby merchant. Tots are us. I give you all the service and no damn fuss. Give the baby merchant just a week or two. I'll have your baby for you.
Baby merchant.
Yes.
All right, what's making you bringing you joy this week? What's going on?
As always, doing this podcast with you.
Thank you.
Cheers. And quite frankly, having this glorious, this last 3-day weekend, because we're not getting President's Day off.
No, the next weekend is probably not until April, when there's like Easter.
And I don't think we get Easter.
So
you heard it too, right?
I did hear it,
but nothing came up. Oh, duh, my iPad. There it is.
Yeah. So Easter.
I don't think
next time.
I don't think it's Easter, because we don't get off for Easter, or at least
No
I
days?
don't get off. No,
I don't think
Easter's always on a Sunday.
I don't think I get off either for like Good Friday or anything. Yeah.
Right. Not for Good Friday or anything.
Maybe I'm fingers crossed.
It might be Memorial Day weekend.
I think that might be the next one, because
Yeah.
I remember in school, like in elementary school, because you don't usually have really large breaks. I remember always hating once we got to February, because between January and April, we did used to have a bunch of parties. Like you would have, MLK Day would be off, but then in February you had Valentine's Day, and then March we would have a St. Patty's Day, and they'd bring green bagels. But between then, it's just like school, and I used to always get annoyed. So I think that between now and then, we don't have any days off unless we take them ourselves. Which would not be a terrible idea for you, because I always think you need to take more days.
Yeah, and my
Just a staycation.
birthday happens to be on a Wednesday this year, so I will definitely be taking that day off. I might take the day before and the day after off.
Well, if you're gonna take days off, I am gonna posit your question later.
Okay, then. All right. But that's everything from me. Oh, and also playing Risk. This game is now addictive. It's a part of my life.
It's so fun.
It is a lot of fun to
It's
come up
better
with
than
these
Candy Crush.
It really is better than Candy Crush or Parking Jam or Two Dots.
Yeah, 2 dots is frustrating.
Yeah, 2 Dots can be
I
frustrating.
have to delete it from time to time, because like I'm on a break from it, because it's like where Candy Crush will give you little bonuses every time. They stopped doing that.
They stopped doing that for 2 Dots. Now it's just like the
No.
bonus of the day.
I don't
It only
like it.
lasts for 15 minutes.
I don't like it.
2 Dots, fuck off. And now
Yeah.
you have to buy those bonuses. I'm not spending any money with you.
If I spend money on any game, it's Candy Crush, and I'm not doing that every time.
Shout out to the Weird Ones pod.
Hey, the weird ones.
Hope you're having a good day. We're just talking about the things that made us happy. And I'm happy for doing this podcast, playing Risk on the PS4. And also, you know what? I'm proud of my friend Josie. I'm just going to put that out there. Normally, I don't name things.
We love you, Josie.
Josie is fantastic. Josie is a good person who has without getting into too many details, Josie has experienced a lot in her life on this earth, and the fact that she's come so far, the fact that she has matured in the way that has just shown so much growth and prosperity. It makes me proud to know her, makes me proud to be her friend, and I'm just proud of all of the hard work that she has put into her life. So I just wanted to make sure that if somehow this gets to her, if somehow she listens to this, I just want to let you know, Josie, that I'm proud of you. I'm proud to consider you a friend. I'm proud you consider me a friend, and I'm proud of literally everything, the growth that you have experienced. So shout out to you.
Shout out to you, Josie. Black Girl Magic.
Black Girl Magic, indeed.
Okay, for me, I will say that this week, what's brought me joy, of course, is doing this podcast with you and generally spending time together. Playing Risk. I beat the AI today. I was very excited. I have beat you now, what is it, 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, like 2 or 3.
And that makes me feel very good because honestly, when we first started playing,
I would just crush her.
Yeah.
Just insane ways and insane amounts.
It was terrible.
But now you have a good strategy going.
I'm building up to the final boss.
Yes, you are. Which is what, my dad?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he's so good.
He is really good.
And you can't play. I don't think you should be allowed to play if you have military training. Because it's too much.
Actually, I think you should, so that when we beat him, it'll be all the sweeter.
Oh, yeah. No, I can literally, I don't care if it's 1 time out of 100. I'm going to I'm going to be feeling like Rocky Balboa. Like I'm ready to go. I'm also grateful and glad for I would like to shout out my team at work. My manager has been so super supportive of me in general, but especially with my aunt's passing. I didn't feel any stress or weirdness about having to take my bereavement days and, being gone necessarily a little bit longer than usual. So that's really great. I'm thankful to all my friends who have been reaching out, my friends and family who've reached out to send some kind words, send me money to get dinner, or sending me things to say I love you and I'm sorry and all that, because I think that as we get older, one of the parts of life is that you are losing people around you.
Yes.
And I feel like in this last few months, a lot of people I know have passed away, whether it was personal or people that are in my circle and people I knew through them. And I think that it's I'm grateful that number is not higher. And that I'm always grateful to still have my parents and my siblings still in my life, because I know that at our age, even though we're still young, there are a lot of people who don't. I mean, I feel like on Facebook every day I'm seeing somebody posting up about their parent passing away, and it just stresses me out because I'm just our parents are too young to go anywhere. But having a community around you that, people will reach out and just say, I love you, I'm thinking about you, what do you need, how can I help? Those things are so immensely huge for me. And it's not about someone sending money or buying you things. It's just the presence, the support is very important.
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Sorry, I forgot.
Let there be light. And I would say, I am very happy to be going to London this week. I'm looking forward to a nice cuppa, a proper cuppa, and I hope to bring some back.
Tea?
A cuppa of tea.
Okay. I didn't know it was
Yeah, it's a cuppa.
Okay.
Can I have a spot of tea,
spot of
please? Can I have a spot of tea, please?
The rubbish bins.
And I look
That's
forward. I feel like even though this is going to be sad and we're going to be grieving, I can honestly say that I am so looking forward to being with my cousins, because we are just a rowdy bunch of hooligans, just bringing it's so much fun. I'm picturing in my head the first time. I remember us kind of all being, well, maybe not the first time, but one of the most memorable to me is being in Nigeria for my uncle's wedding and my other uncle's chieftaincy, and just us sitting around talking until the wee hours of the night in all of our American or Western what's it called, Western joys of regular life, continuous electricity and being able
Privilege?
Yes, like electricity all the time.
Modernity?
Maybe
Okay.
any of those would work. And being able to like drink soda at whatever time of the day. Like one of my cousins, my cousin Frederick, the one that just got married. I remember we found like cases of soda, which they call mineral. Mineral in Nigeria. And it was like cases of the glass bottles of Coke. And he broke the top off one so that we could drink the soda. And we were just like, we had no thoughts of whether there'd be glass in it or not. But we were just so thirsty and we were sick of drinking water. Because that's all anybody was giving us unless it was like a special occasion. So I love my cousins. I love my family. I'm looking forward to seeing them. Yeah, so those are all the things that are making me happy this week.
That are Jamaican you happy.
They're making me happy.
Yes. All right. So, is that everything?
Yeah, that's it. Oh, wait. No. We have our RIP section.
Oh,
because remember, we moved it to the end.
We have to move this
to another part?
To
between grinding and making me happy?
Because like we usually end on a happy note.
Okay, well we'll do we're gonna give them off to glory.
Okay then. All right.
Are you gonna play the music?
I am gonna play the music.
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. So we have okay. We don't have that many. There are a few people that went home to glory over the last 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Fred White, the drummer for Earth, Wind and Fire, passed away at 67 years old. Mm-hmm. I mean, Earth, Wind and Fire has done so much for music.
Yes, it's the only reason I remember the 21st night of September. Is that the day?
Yes. Do you remember?
Yes.
The 21st night of September.
Although I used to think it was the very first night of September.
I used to think it was the very first night of September as well. So you're not wrong there. But just, this year it ended with a lot of major people dying, and it has kind of started with a lot of major people in our culture passing away, because also Lisa Marie Presley, Elvis's only child, died at 54, and it was so shocking because I remember I think it was Thursday, I had told you how she had been rushed to the hospital because she had a cardiac event.
She had a cardiac event.
And then a few hours later, they announced she had passed. So, I mean, it's sad that she's gone. She and her father, I would say definitely for us 90s babies, was a part of pop culture and added a lot to pop culture in different ways. Yeah. But you know what? She is now with her father, which is something that she is at peace. Mm-hmm. And any struggles or things that she was going through then are no longer around, and so we can be joyful for that.
Yes.
And the last and final one, we have to give our deepest condolences to Patrisse Cullors, who's one of the Black Lives Matter founders, because her cousin Keenan Darnell Anderson was murdered by the police following a traffic accident. Apparently, he was flagging down the police. He was having a medical emergency, and the police tased him. I believe they tased him to death with a 50,000 volts over and over. And the video was very, very shocking and sad. And it's just like, they created the Black Lives Matter movement to stop things like this happening. And as we know, they have not stopped or necessarily reduced as much,
right?
Because this is not we don't always talk about them, just because they're literally every week almost. But there are still plenty of people being murdered by the police, and we can only give our love and condolences to them and their families, and I give our prayers to them because he was, this is a terrible incident. There was nothing about his life that would have suggested he was going to leave this earth so soon. He was only 31. He was a beloved teacher. And we're sending all of our love and prayers to them.
Yes.
And I think of course, Black Lives Matter every day, always, and infinity and beyond. And we just need to remember that.
Yes.
Constantly.
Yes.
So that's it. That's the last thing.
That's the last thing.
And to leave with a bit of joy.
Mm-hmm.
What is one thing you are looking forward to in 2023?
What?
What? What were you about to say?
Nothing. Nothing. That was a bit. That was a bit that I was doing. I'm looking forward to going to Jamaica. I've said it. I put it out there in the earth. I put it out there in the ether. I put it out there on a podcast. It has to happen.
Yes.
Okay. My plan is to do my taxes, get my refund, use that refund to buy the tickets and the hotels, and not hotels, the tickets, and get the airplane stuff.
Jamaica is going to be very fun.
Yes, it is.
It's going to be a great
Is that
time.
also what you're looking forward to?
I'm also
looking forward to.
Well,
is that also what you're waiting for to do your taxes?
Yes, but also I'm looking forward to Jamaica, but I'm also more so looking forward to Costa Rica. I really want that to happen because I want to see sloths.
I'm not even sure if that's happening anymore.
I've X'd.
Have you?
Yeah. Not recently.
How would you be able to ask?
I X'd during Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. And what was the answer?
Yes.
Okay, there's been no movement on that.
Hey!
I have not heard a single solitary plan.
But
I only have one credit from Travelocity, so it's either going to be for Costa Rica or for... No, it's not going to be for Costa Rica
I think
because
Jamaica's
it's going to
the
be for the
first
thing
one.
that I know for sure is going to happen.
But no, I think that one thing that I am excited for to happen is just becoming closer to the ones that I love.
Agreed.
And that's it. And that's all. We'll see you in a week.
Yes, until next time, thank you for listening and subscribing to the Black and Sturdy podcast. As always, stay tuned to this page. If you follow us and watch us on the Instagram Live, stay tuned to this page for the next time when we're going to record. If you listen to us on the podcast, definitely check us out on Instagram Live. You'll get to see what our faces look like and what basic bitch clothing I'm wearing. And
my various hairstyles. I need to do a reel of my hairstyles from like.
I don't know if it's various. I think it's braids and not braids.
Yeah, but they're various colors.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll give you that.
It's various.
Until next time, take it easy.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the show. If you'd like to contact the podcast, you can reach us via email at blackandsnerdypodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Black and Snurdy Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Black and Snurdy. You can find me, Maurice, on all social media under the handle Licorice is Legit. That's LICORISH is legit.
And you can find me on Instagram. It's thatsod, THATSOD.E. And on Twitter, THATSOD_E. And don't forget to like, rate, and subscribe to us. Tune in next time to the Black and Sturdy podcast, where nerds of a feather flock together.
Remember?
Bye.
Boy.
Not yet.
No, this is keeping it. We're keeping this in. Don't forget to take your meds and your subs and drink water. Bye.
Bye.
I actually want to keep that.